This one has been around since, you still see it occasionally, it's just a great one. It says simply, somewhere in Texas a village is missing its idiot. I want to tell you about this other bumper sticker that I saw. Got behind a guy at a red light, you know, and started reading the shit on his card. By the way, I read everything on your car, okay? I want to know everything about you. Don't put anything on your car that you don't want me to know. I'm going to read the whole fucking thing. I want to know how your kid is doing at school, where you went to college, who you believe in, what band you like, what radio station you listen to, who you voted for. I want to know where you went on vacation. I'm going to read everything. I'm going to even read the fine print. I'll follow you for 10 fucking miles just to read the fine print. I don't give a shit. If you can read this, you're too close. But I got behind a guy in a red light, and I swear to you, his bumper sticker said, "Don't abandon your baby." And I thought, yeah. Now there's something really important to be reminding people of. Now what amused me about that bumper sticker is that this was a professional-looking bumper sticker. This wasn't some piece of crap the guy had thrown together in his garage with loose-leaf paper and a crayon. This thing had a finished look. It had good printing, nice color separation. This was sold somewhere. And what amuses me about that is that that means that more than one human being had to think that was a good idea. There was a meeting, people attended it, and this was approved. Can you imagine the level of intellect floating around that table in the conference room? What do you think, Dan? Think we got a winner here? Big winner, Dave. Big fucking winner. Let's print a minute of these bastards. This cocksucker's gonna be huge. Alright, that explains them. That explains them. They're men, so they're limited. And they're businessmen, so they're severely limited. But what explains the guy in the car? What was his motive? Why would he put that on his bumper? I drove around several miles trying to think of something, and all I could come up with was I thought that maybe he must have thought that just perhaps, maybe, there was an outside chance that someone would get behind him at a red light who was on his way home to take the twins and sell them to the gypsies. And that maybe that person would have second thoughts. Other than that, I could think of nothing. People are fucking astonishing. Fucking astonishing, and they say astonishing things. There are a lot of things we all say that we never question. We just sort of go along with them. We don't examine them too closely. For instance, when someone dies, okay? When someone dies, the following conversation is bound to take place, probably more than once. Two guys meet on the street. Did you hear? Phil Davis is dead. Phil Davis dead? I just saw him yesterday. Yeah? Didn't help. He died anyway. Apparently the simple act of your seeing him did not slow his cancer down. In fact, it may have made it more aggressive. You know, you could be responsible for Phil's death. How do you live with yourself? We say these things over and over. Don't even think about what they might mean. Here's another one for after someone dies. This one is usually said to the surviving spouse. Listen, if there's anything I can do, anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask. What are you gonna do? Fucking resurrection? This ain't the New Testament, you know. You know what you tell a guy like that? Oh yeah, well come on over on the weekend, you can paint the garage. Bring your plunger, the upstairs bathroom's overflowed. There's turds all over the floor up there. You know how to drive a tractor? Yeah, that North 40's gonna need seating pretty fucking soon. Tell him, fuck him, he wants to help. Call his bluff. Bring your pick and bring your shovel, bring your fucking union card. I'll put you to work here. Lots of fucking things you can do. Here's another one just like that, said to the surviving spouse. I'm keeping him in my thoughts. Where? Where does he fit in your thoughts? In between my ass hurts from this chair and let's fuck the waitress? A lot of euphemisms with death, you know. A lot of you people say, you know, I lost my father. Maybe he just wandered off. Now, there's one more I want to mention about that you hear after death. Excuse me for this, but I'm really thirsty, and this is not fucking helping. You ever notice that water does not fucking quench your thirst? It just makes you thirsty. This shit does anyway. Well, I'll keep trying because it'll last for about 5 seconds. This is something that people say after a death, but this one involves belief. Belief, which is where I have fucking trouble. Okay, this one happens after the death, after the funeral, after the burial. Back at the house, where the friends and loved ones and relatives of the deceased are gathering and they're having some food and drink and remembering the person fondly. Sooner or later, someone is going to say this. You know, I think he's up there now, smiling down at us, and I think he's pleased. Now, first of all, there is no up there for people to be smiling down through. It's quaint, it's poetic, and I think for superstitious people it probably provides a little comfort, but it doesn't exist. But if it did, and if somehow someone did survive death in a non-physical form, I think personally he'd be far too busy with other activities than to be standing around paradise, smiling down at live people. And why is it no one ever says, I think he's down there now, smiling up at us? Apparently it never occurs to people that their loved ones might be in hell. Your parents could be in hell right now. Your parents, your father for sure. Hell is full of dads. Full of dads. Even the ones who took you to the ball game just for beating the shit out of you once too often. And fucking the neighbor lady. And fucking the neighbor dog. And who knows, maybe even fucking the UPS man. We'll never know what mischief Dad was up to. Parents in hell. Kind of gives you a nice feeling, doesn't it? Does me. Grandparents. Picture your grandparents in hell. There's a shot you want to think of. Grandma in hell. Baking pies. Without an oven. And I think if someone were in hell, it's doubtful he'd be smiling. And I think he's down there now, screaming up at us. And I think he's in severe pain. People just refuse to be realistic. They'd rather stroke themselves. People like to stroke themselves. They like to stroke themselves and stroke each other. They like to be stroked. They stroke each other. The father strokes the mother strokes the kid. Everybody's stroking everybody in this country. The government strokes you. Religion strokes you. Big fucking time. Big business strokes you. The whole fucking country's nothing but a big stroke job. You know what the national emblem of this country ought to be? Uncle Sam standing at attention saluting, and Statue of Liberty sitting next to him jerking him off. That would be